Ladies and gentlemen, it appears now that the 3-game losing streak is indeed over.
That's about damn time.
It is about damn time, man. 3 straight losses to the Raiders, the Bengals, and the Packers. And
2 at home.
Yeah, 2 of them at home. But we returned home today and got a victory, our first home victory of the season against the Denver Broncos, 27-19.
And we advanced to 2-3.
Which is somewhat of a good feel win because that's exactly what we needed heading into prime time next week at Heinz, under the lights, man, against the Seattle Seahawks. But this game, it started off great. It started off energetic. We were all excited and happy, smiling ear to ear, especially through the first 3 quarters. Then the 4th quarter came around, and this team completely got complacent and fell asleep.
And almost gave up the game.
The game got too much closer than it should have, to be real with you.
Much closer than it should have. But we pulled through. In the end, we pulled through and got the victory.
So I'll take it, obviously, because under the circumstances, a win is a win.
And we needed a win, badly. We really did.
Just, based on the division rankings and overall, record-wise, we needed a win, and we got the win. So I'll take it.
I'm glad we did.
To start the game, man, it was just like last week.
Literally like last week.
It was so identical. We opened the game with an open drive touchdown. It was a deep ball from Ben to Johnson, again, for a second straight week to open the game. Opening drive touchdown. And then the defense forced a 3 and out. And, of course, deja vu kicked in, and we're like, is this happening again from last week? Because the same thing happened against the Packers.
Yeah, is it going to be a repeat? Like how the Steelers have been all year.
But
a repeat.
Unlike last week, they remained consistent. They kept the pressure to the metal. The pedal to the metal.
Pretty much.
They kept the pressure coming, man. And I loved it.
Even if it didn't end in a touchdown, the offense was progressive. They were very good overall.
It was
on the field.
It was without a shadow of a doubt the best this offense has looked all season. The offense in the first half and even a little bit of the third quarter was, shall I say, great. They scored 27 points today. They didn't score 20 the first 4 games. In fact, Najee Harris had more yards in the first half alone than he did all of his first 4 games. Najee Harris.
And let's talk about Najee Harris right now.
This man had how many carries? 23 carries for 122 yards and a touchdown. That is a 5.3 average. He came into this game with a 3.4 average. Wow. And credit to Najee Harris, credit to the offensive line, credit to the offense for finally opening up a little bit, getting some creativity going, spreading the ball around, and we were able to establish a running game.
And it felt good seeing us establish a running game. It felt good seeing Najee break through, get some yardage, get a touchdown. A meaningful touchdown.
A meaningful touchdown, which was great. Leaped over the pile for a goal line touchdown, man. And Najee's first career 100-yard game, rushing-wise.
Najee had a great performance in this game.
And he deserved this performance, and props to the O-line in general, because even in pass protection, they improved a little bit. In the run game, it's obvious they improved. It's just great to see this offense continue the progression week by week. We just had to be a little patient, and we're starting to see it. Hopefully they keep the progression going as the season goes on. But major props to the O-line, major props to the running game for finally giving us something to be proud of, for being dead last to getting 122 yards for Najee Harris. Now, Najee did leave the game with, I think it was leg cramps, because he had leg cramps, stretched out on the field, still played a few downs, then came off and started stretching again. Then that's when we started to see Snell and Ballage a little bit. But Najee, man, he had a great game. And hopefully he's okay. I'm sure it's just cramps, nothing too concerning.
Yeah, definitely started the game.
As for, other injuries, man, on offense, Juju went out with an injury. It seemed like when he got hit by Kareem Jackson, he tried to, put his shoulder down and get some more yardage, like Juju usually does.
But Kareem came down and just smacked him. He hit him so hard to a point that it looked like his shoulder got dislocated, and the Steelers team doctor had to come down. And it looked like he was popping it back into place, and you could see the expression on Juju's face of how painful that must have been.
He was feeling it. He was really feeling it. So hopefully Juju's okay when we get him back next week. But even then, when Juju went down, Johnson, he had a 50-yard touchdown before that, but he stepped up and had one more target for 27 yards, got us up to the middle of the field. Chase Claypool, statistically, 5 receptions, 130 yards, and a touchdown on 6 targets. Claypool came to play. He stepped up big time.
Although he did miss one pass, which Ben threw the ball pretty good towards him, and it literally smacked him off of his face, off the helmet.
So that should be another conversion down the sideline of the field.
But Claypool came up big on the receiving touchdown that he got.
Big play Clay showed up today, and he had a hell of a game.
He did.
Just a yak monster, man. Created plays, got us up the field, scored a touchdown that, gave us some cushion until, of course, the defense, which in the first half, the defense looked really good. The only issue I would say with this defense overall is there wasn't much consistent pressure on Bridgewater. They stopped the run pretty good. There was one play on the third one, Javonte Williams. They gave him a toss, and he went up the field. But the defense were able to stop that and blitz Bush, which was our lone sack of the game.
No, it wasn't our lone sack because we had one more sack and Henry
Mondell. Yeah, correct. That was from Henry Mondell.
I believe it was just 2 sacks in this game.
But, yes.
But we were able to stop the run very effectively. And the pass rush, they had its moments, but it wasn't as consistent as we thought it was going to be.
No, which was a little disappointing. But they did stop the run pretty effectively. Cortland Sutton had a hell of a game, which thanks Sutton for my fantasy, but, knock off the bullshit.
Yeah, we almost lost the game. The defense in the fourth quarter was very complacent.
Dude, James Pierre got cooked by Sutton on a deep ball. Now, Pierre did rebound because he got the game-sealing interception on fourth and goal. So, good on Pierre. That is a confidence changer.
And a confidence booster for Pierre. I'll give Pierre this. He's not great by any means. I wouldn't even say he's good by any means.
He's still young as hell.
But he does have flashes. And coming up with that game-sealing interception it was great, and it could very well be a confidence booster for the guy's young career.
But still, hopefully we get Cam Sutton back next week against a very efficient 1-2 punch in what the Seahawks have.
Yeah.
But for this game, man, it was a little too close for comfort, honestly, in some aspects and most aspects. It's just the game was a lot closer than it should have been.
Yeah, there were times that we should have closed this game out.
There were times it was right after the 2-minute warning, the offense got the ball back with a minute and a half left, 2 timeouts, and they barely drove up the field. It's like they just wanted to get out of the first half and go back to the locker room.
Although Denver had the ball after the first half.
Right.
So it's why would you not go down the field considering you had a minute and a half left and 2 timeouts? Why would you not drive yourself down the field and try to get at least a field goal some points?
Right.
We didn't even do that.
No, so that's honestly, out for this entire offense, that actually might be our only complaint.
Probably the only negative, really. Because I did not like that. Because it almost came back to bite us, and I don't mean to interrupt you. I just want to say
You're right, but in regards to the offense, the running game was the most efficient I've seen it in a long fucking time. The receiving game was wide open. We started spreading the ball a little bit.
And even Ben,
Ben looked really, really solid today. Of course,
did.
Wasn't perfect by any means. There was a few throws he missed, but Ben had one of his better showings this week. 253 and 2 touchdowns.
And keep in mind, this was against a Broncos defense that, yes, had an early and easy start to the season considering the competition they were going up against. And we even said, what's the difference between those teams and us in our preview.
But they made us eat our words today.
And I'm glad they did. That's exactly what this team needed to do.
I have no problem with eating my words when it comes to the Steelers, playing negatively.
And can you really blame us for feeling the way that we did in our preview? The team was looking horrible coming into this game.
They did.
And they came into this game in Heinz Field and showed up for the most part.
And, yeah, the Heinz Field was pumped up. Steeler Nation was pumped up. The Yingers were pumped, man. And that might have to do with Cowher talking to Ben and Shazier being in stadium and rallying the defense. So, stuff like that, man. It really helped switch the momentum of this team. And
even give us confidence, I'd say.
Yes, because it gave us a pretty solid, good feel win in Heinz Field, our first home victory of the season. So I'll take it.
Yeah.
And we needed it heading into primetime next week.
And speaking of that, although we had a pretty overall good performance in this game, can this team be consistent and do it next week in primetime against Seattle?
Because to be fair, they weren't all that consistent today. They played 45 minutes. They didn't play 60.
No.
Because they slept in that fourth quarter.
They did.
That was They gave us a heartache when they didn't need to.
No, they didn't.
The game should have been over.
Many times it should have been over.
But they gave us a heartache. Why do the Steelers do this to us? Are they trying to shorten our lifespan? I mean, come on.
I just don't get why the Steelers do, but they do it for some reason. But next week, hopefully they can be able to be consistent with this on offense and even defense.
But for the first time since week 1, man, I'm feeling good. I'm happy.
It's a good win. It's a much-needed win. It's a win that we needed to get no matter what.
You're right, and I'm feeling happy about it. Small complaints here and there, but hopefully this team continues to grow and adapt. And, if we were to manage to be 3-3 by the bye, that's not too bad looking at the current circumstances and all the injuries we suffered already in the first half of the season.
Right.
We still are. Again, Najee went down. He should be good. Juju has a shoulder injury. Even Bush got hurt.
Yeah, go figure. Guess what? A groin injury.
Again, which he suffered earlier this season. So that's lingering. But nonetheless, man, hopefully, we get some guys back next week. Obviously, guys like Najee, Juju, Sutton, maybe Bush, because, even though the Seahawks don't have Russell Wilson because he's out for at least a month, they have Geno Smith, it's still not going to be an easy challenge because the Seahawks and Steelers always fight each other good.
It's always competitive.
And it's prime time, man. Got to show up. But it's good we got to win before that.
Yes.
We needed a confidence booster. We needed a feel-good win at home. Our first home win of the season, which I'm proud of.
And hopefully this confidence can bleed into next week and help us possibly get a win and be consistent against the Seattle Seahawks on Sunday Night Football at Heinz Field.
Which should be a good game, and you guys can look forward to our preview coming this week. Sunday Night Football, man, it's going to be very fun to watch. But Broncos, man, they've lost 2 straight now to AFC North teams. I'm hoping they can rebound because I love their team and I love their talent, but good challenge.
And even their defense.
Yes, good challenge from the Broncos. They almost came back, but the Steelers, man, finished strong. So good on them, man. Happy we got the win. Here we go, Steelers. We are now 2-3, and for the first time since week 1, I can say we got a dub.
We got a dub.
I feel good, man. I'm feeling really happy and energetic. This might give me a little optimism.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
But good stuff from the offense. Solid stuff from the defense. Defense got to be a little more consistent and definitely get that pressure returning next week. But hopefully this offense continues to, show something like this.
Some signs of life.
I love what we saw from the offense. We saw some influence of Canada with pre-snap motion. We started spreading the ball around. We saw Derek Watt 2/3 tight end sets. We were running the ball effectively. Najee Harris, man, you could just tell when he runs the ball, he fights for every yard. And it seemed like every time he carried the ball, he got at least 6 yards.
Yeah.
Like, the man can run the ball.
And you can tell that he's getting better week by week.
I love it, and I hope it continues. The last 2 weeks, the running game has been alive.
Very progressive.
And that's what we need to continue to work on, especially with a 39-year-old quarterback.
Yeah.
So here we go, Steelers. I feel good about this win. Let us know your guys' thoughts down below, man. And 2-3 now. Here we go, Steelers, man.
Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later.
Peace!